As I told you some time back, the words you talk are not written anywhere here. The words that govern your thoughts are nothing but biochemically produced electrical energy being stored in the synaptic junctions of your brain. So when you have such beautiful, wonderful thoughts, even the way it becomes different. The other people will know it. How do they know? They themselves do not know. That's why, as I told you, when you read wonderful books, your thought process is traveling through the concepts and ideas and words and sentences of that person, which he spent a decade of time to arrive at those words and sentences in that book. You sitting for half an hour, you can very conveniently travel through those vehicles of the words and sentences. And then just don't go just like that through the words and sentences. As I told you, you reflect upon every significant sentence. When you read a wonderful sentence in a language which you know, it will come to your comprehension quickly. Like that parable. Even a third standard student can understand that parable, but you are able to see much more deeper details. So go like that when you read a wonderful document. Then extra variables. Any new millisecond of your understanding is registered in newer structures of the brain. Then that much of expansion happens to your brain. Why universal studies show that out of all professions, teachers and researchers live longer and without any relatively major illnesses. And in fact, I don't know about teachers and researchers much into their details. I think they live some of the lowest levels of economic situations, and they live in much more, I suppose, minimum kind of conditions. If you also make an inquiry, I also have made, we seldom see a teacher always ill, having cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, and other serious illnesses which are almost capturing a good majority of people today. Why? Because the central nerve system, the brain controls everything. Even illness is generated and created and sustained by the central nerve system only. If the central nerve system is in full gears, all the engines are working, then other things cannot influence. You read the philosophy of Ayurveda, it says, except fever is called the king of illness, Roga Rajan. Except fever, every other illness is created in the mind. Chinese system also declares that. Now the Western medicine is discovering it little by little. Otherwise, how only human beings have diabetes and cholesterol and TB and all these things? N number of animals, they have no problem. Even domestic animals do not have any problem. Because they are living in controlled, restricted conditions. Even they don't have any problem. But human beings, despite all kinds of modern facilities, food is boiled 100 degree, getting out bacteria, virus, all blah blah blah. What is it? Illnesses are increasing. Because of the mind. The so-called mind. What is mind? Nothing but electrochemical processes in the brain. There is disparity there. As I said, you say one thing, do one thing, then there is an agent which is aware of that. You don't give importance to that. That's a different issue. When that disharmony happens, there is another neuronal network which is aware of that. So gradually when the number of it increases, there is a critical turning point comes. Like you add 50 grams sugar each into the platform, there is 1 kilogram on the other side. Till 995 grams, the platform is up. Not that like the logical linear scale, accordingly it will come down. No. When the last 5 grams is added, crack, it moves down. That is nature process. That's the problem of the human being. If you do something little bit nonsense, nothing happens. If So 5 grams, 5 grams, 5 grams, 10 grams, 20 grams, 5 grams, 1 gram, 30 grams, 40 grams. Then the critical turning point comes, kadak. Mind, the integrity of the mind, the innocence of the mind. Innocence meaning you can even kill somebody innocently because you don't do that. You can even insult and fire at someone by your genuine love and concern, not by your greed and anger and jealousy and rivalry. With rivalry, if you say even I love you, it won't work. With absolute love, I say I hate you for doing this, no problem. Because the intention makes it the different, okay? Like in the jurisdiction. I can kill you and I'll be allowed to go scot-free because the other person tried to attack me. The intention is not to annihilate you, intention. So what is your intention? That you have to be always careful. When you do something, when you talk something, when you behave something with someone, you reflect for a moment. What is my purpose? Why I do this? So develop that power of language. It is not just talking language in a poetic way. What is the language power of Sai Baba? I have heard him talk such a stupid language. What is the power of language of Amritanandamayi? It is having so many great languages in the mind. It is having the language of love and concern and reverence and respect in the mind. It is not just the language of physics and chemistry and maths and quantitative texts alone. How the languages of the Vedas and the Upanishads and the spirituality and whichever wonderful books which you yourself know. Nobody has to tell you, come on, this is a wonderful book, you read. Your own sensitive system will tell you, this is a wonderful book. So make that language of that wonderful book travel very genuinely and slowly, seeing all the sight. Not like you travel in a wonderful road in 150 km speed in a Lamborghini, but travel in 30 km speed, opening all the windows, looking at this side and that side and this side, and enjoy the details of what you see when you travel those sentences in the book. Then it becomes an originalized part. Then it becomes an originalized version of you. Then it becomes your own almost, except that writing part, except that extra data which you do not see in a book. And if you have that originality being triggered at one point, so because after doing this for a lot of time, like that sugar example, after doing a lot of originalization like this, then your own entity will start triggering. One moment you become original. You just read one line like that parable. You take one arrow, by the time you take it, it becomes 100, by the time it is 1,000, by the time it is released 10,000. So you get one clue, you can make all possible expansions and extensions of that idea. Like my father, when I asked him a question, he would say, I can tell you the answer. Somebody told me the answer, somebody told him the answer. Who told a theory to the first person in the world? If one person can know something from nowhere, why can't you? Okay, so develop that power of maximum expansion, reflect and just do that once in a while, every day at least for half an hour when you go to sleep or in the morning. Okay. Give some time to you, right with Krishna. Don't all the time engage your mind either in listening to music or watching TV or talking to people or even reading. You give, you're all, human beings are, I would say, wonderful. Give 100% of the time to the external world. Other times to the sleep. Give 10 minutes of time just looking at you, focusing attention on the puzzle of the you. Nothing may happen, don't bother. That should be the Karmanya Vadigarastha. Just to focus your attention on that wonderful you. Because you is not you. Your eyes, your nose, your ears, your body, every cell of your body, every electrical connections in the body is the work of the natural process. The you is not created by your father and mother. That's a natural process. A human being can come only out of a human being, that's all. But you, every one of you, every inch and this millisecond of your process is 100% designed and defined by the very nature process. You are given an opportunity to enter into that nature process and manage it. That is the most beautiful opportunity. That's why it is told, out of all the Janmas, the so-called human Janma is the most wonderful. Because that entity, which is created by the consciousness of the entity, that consciousness created by the very engines of this entity, which is named by the you, Pragya or Khushbu or Rajeshri or Pulkit or whoever, that has got an opportunity to manage a part of the universe. Because you wear a dress, because you talk a language, because you were born to some two well-known socially identified people, because you live in a man-created room and because you drive a man-created thing, because you see everything man-created around, do not mistake that you are away from the nature. You are 100% an integral part of the nature, like the star is, like the sun is, like the moon is, like the plant is, like the tree is. Have that firm understanding, not knowledge. Discover that, feel it. Then that universal creature will be there when you want to do something. It is not that you do that doing. Of course, you may be talking about quantitative techniques or biotechnology or management or philosophy or ethics or anything. But see that that creature is directly involved in the background of your action, of your response, of your dialogue, of your behaviors. That should be your constant attempt. And one day, it will click. As I told you, you cannot have direct access into that human engine, because human being is the most powerful creature. You know even the power of a lion, right? You know even the power of a cat, a simple cat. Take an ordinary cat into a room, your own cat, okay? Your own cat. Take that cat into your own house in a room, okay? Close the door. Close the door. Cat will look at you. Close the windows. Cat's expression will change. Close all the windows. Cat will start suspicion. Then just take a stick in your hand. Don't do anything. Just take a stick. Then you will see the catness of the cat. Your own cat, which has been cuddling in your bed. That's the power of a cat, and the power of the human cat is maybe million times more. So it is not easy to get control on that. So do not expect anything. So whatever little 1 millisecond of your attention, your beloved attention being paid onto that, it will also start looking at you. Like you, if you want to get the love of a girl, what do? You go and say, I love you? No. Then it's a blunder. Just don't talk to her first, actually, I would say. Just look at her from a distance. Just to talk something totally unrelated to love. Then finally, gradually, same is the process. You start look at that wonderful creature that is with you. Do not take for granted that you is this you that you see and you feel and experience. Do not believe that this body belongs to you. That's what I'm telling. So like you want to get the love of a girl or a boy or something, you look at your own body as do not belonging to you. Love you. That's what I'm saying. Look at it. Reflect upon it. That is the height of meditation. Getting the cooperation of that wonderful creature to you, that operating gentle human being, that person, that knowledge that I am, that agent in you by which you are sitting there, by which you take your pen in the hand and write, that agent has to get complete or relatively complete access on all other engines of the creature. That should be your constant secret program operating in the mind. That's the way to get into that total, what I call the double. That's why every human being is a double, a duplicate copy of that original powers of the universal forces, by which this human entity has been designed, like a cat is designed, like a rat is designed, like a snake is designed, like a bird is designed. So there is a design agent or a design function of the nature process by which this particular creature was formed. That you have to get into linkage with that overall engine, that master engine, which manages other engines. Of course, you are now able to manage the engine of moving your hand on the paper. You could have got it into managing the keyboard, or managing a tabla, or managing a violin, or writing calligraphy, or doing painting or drawing, which all those things which you did not do. Okay, that's all not important, of course. Important is to get that primary engine. All great geniuses were not singers or musicians or painters or poets or anything. Alright? That's not important. I don't say that. But because you want to be Krishnas in your office, that's what I say. Not necessarily running a warfare in the Kurukshetra. I want you to be the Durgas and the Lakshmis in the office, in your workplace, in your own way. And it must be possible because you are given, you did not make you, okay. That force, that design principle by which you were made, it is its responsibility. That's the way I look at it. Okay? If I want to do something, if I am not supported by me, let me go to hell. That's what I think. It's not my defeat, okay? I am not defeated. The other agency is defeated. I am genuinely, I wanted to do this with all my effort, and if that doesn't cooperate, okay, it is a shame not on me, but on that. That's the way I look at it. And whatever comes in your path, it will have to be managed. Don't feel proud about it and enter into somebody else's path to show your greatness. That I don't know. That I don't think such a level you will be interested. Because you want to become great, to manage whatever that incoming details of your path. That's the requirement, right? It has to come to you. Alright, so decide to be thickened also whenever it is possible. At least to train, to mentor other people. I would say consciously decide to become great. In fact, the most recent, the largest systematic review of all the creativity research from Freudian times to recent times has been done by a brilliant research reviewer called Robert W. Weisberg. It's about a 600-page book. It is available free in some internet sources. And very interesting, he is reviewing all major studies thus far conducted, all significant research, and finally concludes in the very last paragraph of the book that the great people, there is no term creative or genius and so on and so forth. Instead, the great individuals wanted to become great. Greatness in whichever way that you decide. And when you are driven by that intention to become great in this only one existence, your own entity will tell you what to do, what not to do, how to do, when to do. That's all. Wish you good luck.